Alright, well, this is the last field I got to plant. I got all that done and all that done over there. So I'm just doing the last end rows. And wheat 2022 cutting and planting will be over with. I like the way that looks. Look at that. I like that color, dark light, dark light. Looks pretty good. But we're all done until we get the early corn out and start putting soybeans in behind that. So I'll keep finding something to post videos on. Morning. Let's go look at some 75-day corn and see how that's progressing. It's starting to get some ears. Pretty good. And it's pretty tall. The only thing we're lacking now is rain. We did have a little shower the other day. As you can see, we got one of them that fell over in the storm that didn't make it. The rest of all this right here was laying flat, and it has come back up. I can't show you, but maybe I'll stand on the toolbox and show you. But getting pretty good ears on it. That one has 2 ears. I did up the population. A lot of them got 2 ears. I did up the population this year. Let's go look at the other side. I mean, you can see them ears from here. I mean, it's getting nice. Getting nice. I wish we could get a nice, good rain right now. And it's all the way down. I mean, this is what it all looks like. It's very beautiful. We just need a good rain shower right now. That's what we need. And as you can see, I did lose in here. You can see from the wind, you have there's 2 of them that are down, but if you look, there's not many more. There's one that was bent, and somehow it's still alive and got a decent sized ear on it. But very surprised this corn got back up. All this right here was laying flat, and it's all gotten up, and I mean the ears are coming along pretty good. This is just the outside rows. I hate walking inside cornfields, but as you can see, I mean, there's ears all the way through. So, looks pretty good. This is just one part, but like I say, it's 300 acres of it. So I'm standing up on the toolboxes, but got some rain clouds coming in, but I don't know if we'll get any rain. But as you can see, all the corn's up. Ears looks good. This whole field right here was completely on the ground, and it is all up, ears. I mean, the farm, I mean, all the way back. Looks very impressive. That over there is 108 day, and that is very impressive so far, the way it's held up. Now we do got 100 acres of 75 day back there, and then we got 75 day on that farm. Well, that's 85 day, the far field. And then we got a field on the other side of this hill. There's the road, but the other side has, you can see there's the thing of it, but it's a big field. It's got 75 day also. Then we got 85 way back there on that field. So it's 300 acres of it. This field right here, you can see the different color tassels. This field right here is 85 day. And then that far field is 83 day. We just tried something different than 75 to see what it would do, and it looks very impressive. I don't know what the maturity is going to be when we start cutting the 75 day, how much longer the 85 day is going to be, but I planted that earlier, like 8 to 10 days earlier, because it was, 10-day hybrid. That's earlier, so I'm hoping they all kind of mature and get ready at the same time. We'll see what the yield is. Pioneer does make the 75 day is so impressive, and I wanted to stick with the earliest that I could, and that's the earliest you can get. And nobody else makes a 75 day from what I've found. Everybody else makes it I think an 83 to an 85 is the earliest I can get from other companies. So we just tried something different, but Pioneer actually does make I think an 80 day. It's either 79 or an 80 day, and then like an 83 day or something. but the 75 gets, you know, the maturity level gets done so much quicker, and it's, you know, it went 192 last year, 177 the year before that with no rain. So I mean, it holds up good in drought. I mean, this right here is a sand hill. As you can see, it goes up. This is all a sand hill right here. And I mean, if you look, corn, you know, you can see just a little difference right here, just in that spot, but it's still got decent ears. And then there's a little spot here, and you can see the sand here, but it's still holding up and still looks very impressive. On this side, the only thing you can see is right here, there's a little drier spot, but the rest of the field is all the same. I mean, that's a big sand hill. I know the sun glare, but there's a big sand hill there, and it still looks impressive for not having any rain. So this is the farm that I hope we get pivots on this year. Put it on this farm. The runway is a hassle. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world because they only use it once a year, maybe twice a year for a day or two. And it's the biggest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. One day, if me and my brother have complete control, we've already decided this runway is gone. It's going to be back in the field, so the pivot takes full effect. It's just a long, I mean, you're talking about long, you know, from way down there to that white shed all the way up to here. Could be corn, and could make a lot more money with corn and double crop beans. It's just a waste, I feel. The airplane doesn't need that long of a runway, but if you talk to the guy, that's what he needs. But it's, we don't make enough money off of it that it justifies itself. But my dad seems to think that that's his buddy and he don't wants him to have it. It's stupid to me. But I mean, if you picture it on corn with irrigation, it makes a big difference. So anyway, this is what the corn outlook looks like for early corn. I'll take you back and show you the other 75 day. I looked at it last night. That looks good. All the corn actually looks good considering the rain that we've had. We had rain early. We had a lot of rain early. Got it up good and high, and then it's kind of slacked off. Of course, it does that every year, and that's where pivots will come in. It does it every year. This time of year, we won't get rain for 3-4 weeks, and it just kills our overall yield. We could be doing 10 times better. Get the crop to maturity a lot quicker, a lot higher yields, and then our double crop would do way better. But it is what it is. I've been talking about irrigation for 15 years, and everybody falls on deaf ears. So we would have had the pivots paid for by now if we had done it back in the day. So same way with grain tanks and a dryer, we could cut and dry our own stuff, not have to worry about a moisture loss or deduction or any of that nonsense. And then plus what they charge for drying is just ridiculous, especially in town there. It's so high. We could, you know, guys that I know that build their bins, they say they're paying for their bins for the money they're saving from drying from what they charge in town. It's just outrageous. So I want to get that done before I get old and, you know, too old to worry about it. So I need to start working on this stuff, start doing a little bit at a time and getting it done. But that's the future. Hopefully nobody around here builds for the future. They just worry about what's happening right now. So, but pivots definitely make a difference, and our own grain tanks will make a difference. But I'm gonna go clean the shop up this morning, and then I'll take you on another crop tour. I'm just gonna show you what I'm going to the shop. This is more 75 day. Now this right here is the 85 day. And if you can see, it's a pretty damn corn. Got nice ears on it. These are all the CRP strips that we have around all of our ditches that I despise. I believe they cause more weed problems in our fields than they're worth. And I think this is 75 day, and I think this is more 85 day. There might be some 75 day mixed into it. I just planted what I had left in the planter, and you know, we don't waste seed. What's in the planter gets planted. So, and we actually used every bit of the seed we had this year. I did send one box of 1464 back, and because I was planting 1506 across town, and I didn't want to mix them in, so I actually sent a box back and got more of the 1506. That way I could have the same variety across town. So basically we planted everything. I think we might have sent back 10 units of corn this year that we actually didn't use, and that's pretty damn good to order it be somewhat that consistent. But there you go. I mean, long rows of corn. Yeah, that's the 85 day. See how the tassel was a lot lighter than the 75 day? This is another big field of 75 day. Baler tractor. He's got something he's got to do to the baler before he unhooks it for a year. He's gonna go ahead and get it ready for next year. But there's more 75 day that you couldn't see from that's a huge field too, that you couldn't see from where I was at. But and there's the 83 day sim plot, and that actually looks pretty decent. Tall, nice ears already. Just tried a bunch of different early stuff this year, see what actually works. If there's, main goal was just see what the difference is in like the 83, 85 versus the 75, if it can mature close to the same timeline, and see what the yield difference is on a 10-day different hybrid. You know, longer season is always better. So we figured we'd try a little bit longer season. It might work, it might not work. The 75-day Pioneer, 75-27 is hard to beat if you want an early corn. I mean, it's doing better than some people's long season corn around here. So, and we used to plant, like, for a long season, we'd be like right around 103 to 100 and, I think 111 used to be the longest we would plant. And then now we've moved to 75 day early. And then we plant, our long season now is anywhere from 111, 112, and then 115 day is what our long season is. And they're real good hybrids. Yield really well. Last year we had good rain water, so we had a good yield on everything. We're hoping this year we have the same thing, but I don't know. It's slack rain. I mean, we were getting rain. You couldn't get it to stop raining. Now you can't get it to rain. We have the storms are coming, and with it, they split and go right around us. So, just doing a little scouting today. Show you some corn. I'm going to clean the shop, and then I'll show you the other 75 day. And we'll go look at some 85 day, and then we'll go look at we'll do the long season on this side of town too, the 108. We do the 108 seed consultant. We did try that this year. Lindy said it was a really good hybrid. People were doing really high bushels last year, and it looks pretty impressive so far. I think some of it's just starting to tassel, but you know, I don't know what it's going to do till we get in there, but it looks impressive. I mean, it's right there with the rest of the long season, so we'll try it. So, see you in a minute. All right, the soybeans look to be coming up in this week. Pretty good. Pretty dang good. Not thick enough. Let's see what this other field looks like. Yep. Rolling right along pretty good in there too. Drill did a good job. All right, there's 108 day corn. pretty corn. Very impressed with it so far. I planted this at 34,000. 32, something like that. I think it was 34 this. We do have a, right here on the sandhill, as you can see, this is a major sandhill too. And it's holding up pretty good on both sides. There's a little thin spot right in there, but we have manure there. So that's what manure does in that little spot right there. But it's on a sandhill, that's why we put it there, because your corn's normally a little weaker anyway. But it looks good. It has got the fattest, thickest leaves I've ever seen in my life as far as width and length of them. I guess that's good for soaking water up or something, I don't know, but their leaves are definitely bigger than Pioneer leaves are. Definitely bigger. Never seen leaves that big. They're bigger than decob too, because we planted that last year on this farm. And I mean, just thick leaves. Good Lord, I've never seen leaves that wide. But it's a big field. It goes all the way around, all the way to the back. Let's see if these wheat beans are coming up. Yeah, you can see, well, these are here were some of the last I planted on this farm, but you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's green all down them rows right there. The camera might not pick it up very well, but they're there, so they're coming up good. We'll go back and look at this 75 day. There's all the 75 day over there that I was showing you earlier. It goes all the way back. But that 108 day sure does look good. I mean, it's all pretty corn. Do have deer damage, not on that corn, but as you can see down these inroads, the deer have stood on these filter strips and they have trimmed the tops out of this field right here. They didn't eat the ears, but they've taken the tassel and the tops off in spots. That's why I hate filter strips. If you got that ditch bank, they won't stand there, and they're unable to stand there and do it. Filter strips, they cause weeds, deer damage, and everything else, and the government thinks they're the best, and I hate them. I think they're stupid. I'd rather do away with them. Plant all the way up to the ditch. This spot right here on this field stays wet. We actually had to dig ditches down the edge to get the water to drain. That's why the corn's a little bit right on this edge right here. But the 75 day, I mean, it looks, I mean, you can see them ears. I mean, they're coming. I mean, this is pretty corn. You can see the height difference where the water laid to where it didn't. See, it's flooded that spot out right there. Now it's too dry, it don't matter. But it's just in that little spot by the driveway. The rest of the field looks good like that. This is all 75 day on the right, and then the far back big field is 75 day. 75, 75. This is the field I showed you that had some yellowing in it earlier in the year, but it looks like it's come out of it and actually started producing pretty good ears. You can see the deer have walked this edge of this road and ate some of it. I'll show you better when I get up the road. And then of course we got this big backfield. More deer damage. They eat the tops out of that little spot. And then all this right here is 75. It's a pretty big backfield. It actually looks damn good. It's nothing but a sandhill over there, and the corn actually is held up beautiful. It's crazy how this corn is real good on sand. It's 75 day. You don't lose your yield like you do a long season corn. I don't know if because you plant it early and it gets taller quicker and it matures quicker and it holds the shade and I mean there's pretty ears coming on all this. You see the deer have moved this first row down in a spot. But I think it just gets, if you plant it early, it gets tall quick. It shades the ground a lot quicker. And it just holds the water that you do get in, it seems like. Or that's my theory, I don't really know that, but you know, for no more rain we've had here recently, the sandhills have held up excellent on this 75 day, and that's where we lose our yield at. When we stop getting this rain for this 2, 3, 4 week period, and then we get rain, the sandhills are already kind of crappy, and it just screws your whole yield up. And you know, when you're cutting, that's what gets you. Your yield monitor goes down on a sandhill pretty quick, and you can't build it back up as quick, even if you're getting good corn. It just takes a while to build it up. But that's what pivots would do to help alleviate that. But this corn is actually held up good on the sand hills. And I think it's because we get it in the ground early. And it just holds the moisture in from the shade and the height of it and everything. Because it grows early enough to get tall with the good rains that you get at the end of spring. And it shades it. But I mean, it's got good ears on it. I mean, you can tell it's just all the way down. 34,000. I mean, you can look, it's all the way through there. Good ears. So I'm happy. We just need some rain now to fill them out. And I mean, they're not short ears neither. I mean, they're long ears. So hopefully we get some rain. It'll fill them out beautiful. And look at the difference in the leaf versus these huge leaves on this sea consultant stuff. I mean, these things are just, I mean, they're just gigantic. I mean, they're just huge leaves. I mean, it's crazy how thick they are. Even our long season Pioneer doesn't have leaves that thick and long. I mean, good stalks on them, real thick stalks, heavy duty. None of this stuff right here blew down at all in that wind. I mean, look at that stalk size. I mean, that's just a huge freaking stalk right there. Just huge. But I'm impressed with it. Looks good. I mean, it's dark clouds. You can see the clouds. I mean, they're dark. It's just we ain't getting no. I mean, look at them. They're all around us. They just won't drop any rain. See where deer ate that little spot right there up? I guess where it's dry, they're just trying to get the water out of these stalks. So, I don't know. Who knows? But, you know, it's a different field. It's got beautiful ears. It's just pretty. There's a wet spot. That little, I can deal with that little wet spot. Still got ears on it. But, looks good. Get back to this 108 day up here on the sand hill. I mean, look how, I mean, that is just some tall, beautiful corn. You see where it's a little shorter right here on the edge of the sandhill, but I mean, look at it out there. I mean, just off of these first couple rows, I mean, it's just incredibly tall. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just beautiful. I mean, just think, if we can do this on dry land corn, just think what we could do if we had pivots that kept this stuff going. I mean, it would just be, I don't know, I'm impressed with what we did this year. So, as long as we get a shower at some point, it'd be great, but I'm still impressed. If we had irrigation, just think, I mean, we can do this with no rain. Just think what we can do with irrigation. I mean, it's just looks good. Go look at that 112-day corn. I haven't looked at that in a while. Go check that out. That's the corn I'm most excited about. I wasn't really excited about this 108-day, but looking at it now, you know, I just wanted to try it. But looking at it, it looks, we got another 100 and some acres over here of it, and it looks equal to that. But just looking at it, it's impressive. You know, and it's Liberty linked is what I like. I don't have to worry about flushing the sprayer out and all that stuff. That's why we switched from the Cobb. It just don't make a Liberty link corn, and we spray Liberty on all the early stuff because with the Halex and everything and atrazine, you can't put beans behind it. So that's why we do early corn with Liberty. And last year I had to keep flushing the sprayer out, and it cost money to do that with the clear all and just the time involved doing it. We had to keep flushing the sprayer out and then come to the decob because it's not Liberty Link and you would kill it. And we're not doing that. It's just ridiculous. So that's why we switched from that. And we were just going to put all Pioneer in, but then Lindy wanted to, you know, wanted me to try some, and we did. And I'm actually glad we did. It's very impressive so far. So, you know, if anybody, you know, Lindy Smith out of Princess Anne or Westover, I think it's Princess Anne, somewhere around there. She does the seed consultant. So get up with her because it looks like it's going to be very good corn. You know, I'm a Pioneer guy all the way, but I'm impressed with it so far, and I'm actually impressed with the 85-day seed consultant that we did also. I mean, it looks good. You know, I don't know what, until you get in there with the combine, you don't know. But you can tell how certain corn is going to do by the way it looks at this point, you know. So, it's impressive. So, get up with her. She seems to know what she's talking about. And so, here's some 85-day. I'll show you it. Seed consultant, and the field up at the house looks better than this. This is a little bit sandier field. That's why we decided to put it here. We had to cut something down so that people could see getting out of their driveway. But I mean, equally impressive. Got the good ears on it. I mean, it all come up even and pretty throughout the whole field. This is where some of these inroads right here, see what happened to them. That's because when the tornado come through, it blew every single telephone pole from back behind me all the way down this whole road. And here's where they were falling over, and they were actually burning the corn up right here. Every one of them, they're all brand new. Every one of them is brand new telephone poles. When a tornado, this whole road, every pole was blown over. So crazy how strong that wind was. And they had just put all new poles in the other year because they used to be out in the field and they had them moved. So it was strong enough to blow. I don't know if anybody knows, but these poles are very thick, strong poles. And it blew them all over. Let's see what these wheat beans are doing. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Check this 112-day out. This is what I'm excited to see. I hope it does good. Because this is definitely going to take over the 1197. This is the P1222 at 34,000. That right there is too. But this right here is easier to get to. It's 4th of July weekend, so I don't want to go there and bother our landlord. And it's starting to tassel. That's got pretty thick good leaves on it too. I planted a 75 day and then came right over and planted this one. And I'm on the highway with cars, so I'm not getting out. People on this road drive like freaking idiots. Actually, there was a guy that just got killed on this road the other day. Come around these corners. If they're riding behind somebody slow, they come around the corner and then they start trying to pass when you can't pass and hit head on and die. There was the same thing happened behind me about a mile last year. A girl died riding behind a truck. Well, you can see the beans coming up and the corn looks damn good. We're gonna move that straw Tuesday. The girl was behind the truck in a hurry, come over top of Carmine Hill. Didn't want to ride behind the truck no more because she was in a hurry. I think she had 3 or 4 kids. And pulled out to go around the truck without looking. Traffic was coming, bam, hit on, killed her. Now there's 3 or 4 kids without a mom because she was in a hurry. And then the other day, cars were coming from Salisbury, a guy in a hurry. Come around the bend, riding people's asses. Was in a hurry, so he whipped out without looking all the way around the bend. Hit head on, killed him. The motor hit so hard the motor was sitting in his lap. So, I mean, just idiots on this road. That's why I don't get out looking for it. So, and I don't pull in the driveway when it's a holiday weekend because you don't know what they're all doing up there. So, but yep, people just always in a hurry. I don't know. All right. That's the end of the day. It is Sunday. If the clouds move away, because we're definitely not getting the rain out of them, we're going out on the boat for a couple hours. We're going to run her down the river. And tomorrow I'm thinking we're going to go out in the bay. We've never been out in the bay. Everybody goes out in the bay, but I've never been out there. I've been out there on a boat, but not on my own boat driving the bay. I never actually, when I used to ride with people, I never paid attention. So, where the sandbars and where you're supposed to go and not supposed to go. But I think we're going to try to bay out tomorrow. I think tomorrow is supposed to be the best day, July 4th, as far as weather and no clouds, just perfect sun. So I think we're going to go out on the bay tomorrow and give it a try. And Jamie works in Ocean City. She gets off at 4. I'd really like to get down there and pick her up on the boat. Because that traffic trying to get in Ocean City right now, you wait hours. And Miss Eastern Shore Farmer hates it. But with the boat, she can walk over to the dock. I can just pick her up. And we can have a nice boat day. So, we'll see. All right, everybody. Enjoy your 4th of July. See you. First day out in the bay. Happy 4th of July, right? Yep, happy 4th of July.